going for it, she's trying.
Stephen on the left of the picture going wide.
Yes, Justyna is, she's trying to, and this is where she needs to make it happen with those fast skis. Good one, good one. She doesn't want them in behind her on this big long descent and leading into the Helnerbacken. Good tactics there for Justyna.
And she's taking them all on and trying to cement that second place, and that's a great piece of thinking, a great deal of planning and solid execution. And neither STEIRA and TCHEKALEVA now using her strength to go into third place there, seeing that the Norwegians were weakening, that they couldn't go with her, and now TCHEKALEVA, maybe in her mind, that she thinks, right, this is the moment, or maybe on Helnerbacken, for her to do a similar move to try and make third place her own.
Their bodies will get that recovery, David, because this next, 800, 700 meters, it's easy. There's, from this descent, you can get some breathing back, some recovery in your legs. That's great from TCHEKALEVA.
Yeah, and ISHIDA can't go there. Stephen now sadly looks to be a spent force. You could just see the steps were getting shorter and the shoulders were beginning to rock.
And I think this is a pity for JACOBSEN. She's just been detached. She'll be thinking, had I stayed in with that group, the margins aren't huge, and it makes your race so much easier, but she's been in no man's land all the time.
Yeah, and so Therese cruising now, if she ever does cruise. Still, now she's lifting it up again, you know, Mike. Now she realizes she wants to finish this in style, and Justyna has made second place her own, which was clearly in her mind. I can't beat Therese, I can't take her on. What I've got to do is just make sure that I limit the points damage and I get the runners up spots.
What a strong athlete. It's not done and dusted yet.
No, because TCHEKALEVA's having a moment of belief, and ISHIDA's in third place there. TCHEKALEVA needs to really, she needs to throw everything at this. She needs to be motivated by leg cock, really. And ISHIDA ahead there of Heidi WENG, ahead of STEIRA, ahead of Stephen.
I think Heidi WENG, well, 21-year-old, she's getting stronger over the longer distance, but I think they're tired from the incredible season she's had.
It's interesting when you see an athlete, Mike, when they start to really tire, and actually the skis start to come off the snow just that little bit more, and actually contact is reduced, and therefore the effectiveness is also reduced.
Well, that's it. The muscles are becoming tired in the core, so the body leans over to take your balance onto the ski. Exactly that. So the skis, there's a rotation in the hips that start as well. Again, it's all the inefficiencies, partly focusing and concentration. But look at this. This is a class act, a lap of honor.
Well, they probably didn't think they were going to see this quite as soon, but it is amazing when you consider JOHAUG, the bookmakers knew about it, didn't they, Mike? I mean, she was odds on 4-9. In other words, £9 or €9 or 9 whatevers just to get 4 back. But she has really absolutely given the bookmakers what they expected, which is a very straightforward but actually even more commanding the victory here. Now we have to factor in the absence of Marit Bjørgen. Clearly that would have Marit Bjørgen at her best in a mass start would actually have something, and I've never seen anybody take a flag quite so early.
500 meters to go, half a kilometer. Her legs will be shattered, but she's got such a margin. This is the Helnerbacken, and I think that KOWALCZYK's safe now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike, and you can see Heidi WENG there, and ISHIDA, and STEIRA's blown up now. She's not got anything to offer, and TCHEKALEVA desperate, trying to last gasp to see whether she could get back. Heidi WENG, though, is chasing TCHEKALEVA because Heidi WENG wants this. This is ridiculous.
This is madness.
I mean,
patriotic
it may be, but look at it. I mean, it's a ridiculous flag. I mean, she's almost tripping over the blooming thing. Why didn't she take it in the last 100?
Therese, well done.
Is she gonna stand tall and wave it on the bridge?
Oh, well, they won't catch her, but that is hard work. I think that Heidi Weng is going to catch the Russian. Chekaleva is going to be, I think, taken.
Look at this applause from all the coaches of all the nations.
Her arms are so tired she can barely hold it.
Yeah,
that's what you said. She could lift it high.
It's almost bigger than her. So up over the bridge, and this is the moment, and she's almost conducting them. And very soon to pass the royal box to her left, and she is conducting them. This is amazing. So 2011 and now 2013, and she masters the 30-kilometer freestyle yet again. 1 hour, 21 minutes, 17.7 seconds. And I don't blame her.
Oh. Well, I thought Heidi Weng was going to catch Chekaleva. Maybe she still can.
Yeah, maybe she can. Justyna, a good 30 meters ahead. Weng trying to gather there, and Steven recovering as well. And the Russians going on. Come on, Chekaleva. They're really looking for her to really pick up and get this spot here. Yulia Chekaleva as Justyna comes home. And is Heidi Weng going to find something? They're in the last 50 now. Chekaleva too strong, I think, Mike. You were right. And she holds off Heidi Weng. And look at that, ISHIDA on the far side there, having a go at Heidi Weng and almost getting there.
What a race, what an amazing race from Therese JOHAUG, the heaviest flagpole in the stadium for the last 500 meters.
I mean, talking about an air brake.
ISHIDA did well there, but I think it is fifth. I thought maybe she just nudged ahead, but no, 2/10 of a second.
KALLA sixth, the best for Sweden so far. And then JACOBSEN. Steven in 9th place. And they are respectable performances, but nothing to match this young woman.
What a focus, David, to start a 30-kilometer with the intensity that Therese did and maintain that to the end line without anybody giving her any threat.
FESSEL, in the end, that's a decent finish from Nicole FESSEL to finish in the top 10. Niskanen, the best for Finland. They could see the two French there, HUGUE and FAIVRE, PICON. And PILLER for Italy there. That's a promising finish for her. Another of the Russians coming home now. This should be GUSCHINA. But what do they all make of Therese? I mean, just an amazing athlete. ROPONEN, who really these days ought to be, I think, concentrating on those very long distance Loppet races. I think that's where she would find much more success than she will now. I just don't think she's got the race pace anymore to really contest and have a chance of winning one of these. JEAN, ZHUKOVA. You see the Russians here in the top 20. GUSCHINA and ZHUKOVA. And Kobayashi, another Japanese racer, 2 in the top 20. And there's AGREITER, absolutely out on her legs, but she's made the top 20. So, Therese JOHAUG, quite simply, just takes your breath away. Well, by my reckoning, unofficially, that's got the distance gap between KOWALCZYK and JOHAUG down to 114 points. It's still odds on that Justyna's going to take that crystal globe, but you can be sure that with 2 more distance races to come in Falun and the bonus points for winning the Falun series, the World Cup finals as they are effectively, Therese will give it everything.
She will, and clearly she's on form. She won't do well, we'd expect, in the sprint races on Wednesday in Stockholm. She's not that's the only weakness in her overall game, is the fact that she's not the best or in that top bracket of sprinters, but has improved this year. Yeah,
but of course that sprint is irrelevant in terms of the distance racing globe, so that she doesn't have to worry about that. She knows that she can't beat Justyna. Obviously she wants to stay in second place on the overall podium ahead of KICON Randall, and that's interesting because KICON is in third place and she's only 43 points behind. But again, KICON Randall, classic sprint, not her forte. So I still think Therese can hold off and secure at least second place overall, and with the possibility of winning the distance World Cup globe. But these are the pictures that will be translated onto the front and back pages of all those famous Norwegian newspapers like Berge and Aftenposten, and she's done it again. And she really is making the 30 kilometers her own. And here is the confirmation. And it's also, in the absence of Marit Bjørgen, it's worth remembering, Mike, how much that meant to Marit to win her first 30-kilometer race at the World Championships, because it was 8 years previous her last big 30-kilometer win. So it'll be fascinating. It was disappointing today that Marit wasn't well enough to take part, because it would have been great to have seen Therese and Marit again. So Marit not here, but Teresa, fantastic again. Mike, final thoughts? Incredible performance. One of the bravest and most gutsy performances I've ever seen in the distance races in the women's field. She is very, very special. Hope you enjoyed it. For the moment, bye-bye from Holmenkollen.